Alright, what's going on, guys? TREV back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our second Q&A for this week, leading up to the 5th episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on The Walking Dead's popularity quickly declining. And spoiler warning, if you are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to Season 8, Episode 4, Some Guy. So I wanted to do this one, wanted to lead the Q&A for today with this question because basically the way I do the Q&As is whatever question I get most frequently is the one I kind of, want to focus on first for the Q&A. So yesterday we did possible foreshadowing for Ezekiel's death after seeing Episode 4. And in this one, we'll give our thoughts on the popularity of The Walking Dead kind of fading or declining pretty quickly, actually. Give you guys some updates on the channel, how the channel is doing as part of that. Because, of course, as people point out, the channel here, what we do, obviously is hugely impacted by how well The Walking Dead TV series does. And also have, here's Negan for you guys, just arrived today, so this is pretty sweet. So going to be doing a review for this probably tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it tomorrow, because tomorrow's Wednesday, and Wednesday is kind of like, a Walking Dead day, because that's when the comic book series hits. But, so just got this in trade volume, so this is really cool, and if you guys don't know what this is Negan's backstory. So basically, we'll be going into, how Negan became the leader of the Saviors, how he formed Lucille, this whole angle, how this came about, what happened to create, how Negan was created, basically. Maybe I shouldn't say created, his backstory. So how Negan became, who he is when we meet him in the season 6 finale, or the issue 100, premiere issue where he shows up and bashes Glenn's head, and it's kind of brutal, but there's like blood splatter on it, stuff like that. It's in like red. It's like, here's Johnny, but here's Negan, right? And he's got kind of that psycho look on his face with the bat and everything. So that's pretty cool. So I want to thank everybody who contributes to the Patreon for that. And some people have asked, yes, I do have a Patreon, guys, and I use that to be able to get this, as well as some lights for the backdrop and stuff like that. So it all goes back into the channel. So thank all of you guys for contributing to the Patreon. You guys help the channel continue and to do well. And the link will be in the description for that. It's basically www.patreon.com/TrevsChan2. Even if you want to tip like $1 or something, that's cool, and it can be used to get stuff like this. Basically, I use that to get this. Otherwise, I probably would have bought it anyway. But it was just really cool that you guys help with that, so that we can get stuff to be able to use for it. I don't have to put up everything to get things for the channel and that. So that's cool. So Andrew Ortiz sent this one through. He's got some haters too, but a lot of people did. And pretty much what he said is, what are your thoughts on The Walking Dead dropping to 8.5 million viewers? Pretty crazy how 2 years ago it was getting 14 million views an episode. So there are some huge drops, and you can look at the wiki episode guide for The Walking Dead. You can look at seasons 5, 6, 7, where you start season 7 with 17 million for the premiere, then you go to like 12, and then it just goes down and down and down. Season 6 was around 13, 14 million per episode. Season 5 around like 14, 15 maybe on average, somewhere around there. So definitely in season 8 now, we go to the premiere 11.5, then we go down to under 9 at 8.92, and then 8.5. So depending on how you want to look at it, it has declined, a lot this year. The Walking Dead popularity has gone down from, like he said, a couple years ago around 14, maybe last year in season 7 around like maybe say 12, something like that, to 8, 8.5. So this is like a 4 million drop if you want to compare those two viewpoints on it, down from where it was. So that's a pretty big drop. We're not talking like 50% in a year, but we're talking like 30 to 40, depending on which numbers you want to pull from and compare. But 8.5 to around 12 or 13, something like that. So yeah, it has declined quite a bit, and I also see it as well too in people's just interest in the show overall, in reviews, whether it be Forbes or anybody else, online, I don't know. Some of them online are still positive, but a lot of them are not. And a lot of comments on the channel I get as well too on a daily are just like a lot of people just getting bored of the show, or kind of drawing on the show. And this is the thing: like if you're going to do 16 episodes a year, and you're going to do it for 8 full seasons, year after year after year, with no years off and no breaks or nothing like that. Yeah, it's eventually it's going to fizzle out a little bit. You're not always going to have every season being season 5 or season 6, or the start to season 7. in terms of popularity. You know, after the big Negan kill, I don't know if a lot of the casual fans thought that they were going to find a way out of that, and that there was, Negan wasn't going to bash someone's head in. But it is The Walking Dead, and a couple people did get their heads bashed in, and maybe people were just put off from that, and they just like, oh, screw this, I'm not in this anymore, and quickly just kind of left because they didn't care, because they hated Negan so much they didn't want to see him. I'm not sure. It's, there's a lot of different, people have brought up a lot of different ideas at this point to why. I personally just think it's because the show's been going on for so long. And that's just the nature of it. If you look at season 8, we're 4 episodes in right now, and it has declined even from the start of season 8. But personally, I think like these first 4 episodes have been just amazing. Like the amount of action they've done and the things they've done in it. You can say some things, but you can't say they've been slow, or you can't say they've been uneventful, or nothing's happened. There's a lot of just think of the amount of stuff they've crammed in to the first 4 episodes, and yet the ratings are not increasing; they're actually still decreasing, which is what is kind of crazy to think. But that kind of fits in my thinking pattern of just that they've done 100 episodes and they've built up to a certain amount, and now it's kind of tapering off a little bit to more where it'll probably be at going forward. If they keep the show going for a few more years, which it sounds like, of course, AMC is going to, then eventually we can probably think that maybe it get down like 6 million, 5 million views. It's probably not always going to beat, Monday, football and, NBC. And, we got to remember that there are years here, like season 5, season 6, literally The Walking Dead is beating the NFL. Like a scripted series based on a comic book is beating the NFL. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That is insane, right? To get those kind of ratings for something like that. But it's just really cool to see, and we can't always expect it to kind of be at that level, I think. So I think it's personally just because the show's been on running for so long. If this was like the last season, I think there'd be a lot more people that would still be watching, because they'd be like, I got to see what happens. I got to see Rick and the others defeat Negan and then the show end or whatever. And, just got to see what happens in the end. But because it's got more of a long-running approach to it, and there's going to be a lot more down the road, I wouldn't expect it to get like Game of Thrones type of thing where it's leading to a conclusion. It's almost over, so you got to watch it and everybody's got to check it out. No, they do plan on doing it for a number more years. So so for Andrew and everybody else, those are my thoughts. I just think it's been going so long that when they do certain things, it doesn't have the impact that it used to have. And the show has also changed quite a bit, and maybe people don't like the way that it's kind of changed. As well as season 7, I think we do have to agree it's one of the weaker seasons of the last few years, but it has a strong start for sure, and I felt like a strong finish, even though not everybody agrees with that. So yeah, but leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the series, and don't worry, we're not going to get our feelings hurt here. What are your ideas as to why do you think it's gone from 12 or 13 or 14 down to 8.5, in just like a couple years or something? Do you think it's really that bad? Some people do. Or do you think it's just like, yeah, the show's been on a long time and a whole generation has seen it now. So it's kind of old school now at this point. It's not kind of the new, the cool new thing on the scene, right? And I think that has a lot to do with it as well too, right? The flashiness has kind of worn off a little bit from it. And also they added on Fear as well too, which added on another, once they debuted Fear, it was like, okay, now you're going from 15 or 16. If people want to watch it all, now they're at 32, or 31 or however many episodes they're doing for Fear. So that's what I think it is. After that, unless the ratings get down below 7 or 6, I probably won't touch on it again. It's what it is, and leave those comments below. Let me know why you guys think that is, or what is it for you that maybe if your interest is less than it was, is it something they did, or is it just the nature of it running so long? Next one's from Jack Reynolds, who says, Trev, did you hear that Norman Reedus got his show Ride got renewed for a 3rd season? Which actually, thanks Jack, because I didn't know that. When season 2, episode 2 only had 0.32 million viewers, so that's 320,000 on AMC. So, and then he says, looks like The Walking Dead is nowhere near in trouble when it comes to ratings. Well, we can't really say that because, Ride with Norman Reedus is just like a reality show. So in terms of budget and in terms of what it costs for them to do that show, it's probably like nothing. Like one of us could probably do something like that. Like we could probably take I don't know, a loan or something and go and do a reality show like that. Honestly, you got Norman, you got to pay him, of course, and he would cost a bit. But then you've got JDM, the guests who come on, this kind of thing, and they basically ride motorcycles around and hang out and go see cool things. And it's fun. Again, it's just capitalizing on the popularity of The Walking Dead. There's also Secret History of Comics with Robert Kirkman, which I haven't seen yet personally. I probably should check out at least the premiere and give my thoughts on that because I love comic books and Robert Kirkman's my favorite comic book writer creator. Pretty much ever. Yeah, I'd have to say that. So I should check it out. I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't seen season 2 of Ride with Norman Reedus, but that's kind of cool that he had JDM on with him, Negan, to be in Ride for at least the start of the second season of Ride. It's just that this time of the year for me is like, there's so many shows on. Walking Dead is on. Want to do these videos with you guys that I don't always get time to watch, stuff like Ride or these extra little shows. But it's funny that it got renewed with, not even $1 million. And here we're talking about like 8.5, like it's a bad thing. No, it's just that, it's a totally different series. And it's going to be a lot easier for them to do when you just have a couple people, and it's just like, it's not nearly the budget production and the type of production The Walking Dead is, where they're building and blowing up environments. They got thousands of zombies. They got, a cast over 100, hundreds of people and extras and the whole. No, it's not even close to the same kind of production, and I'm sure Norman Reedus would even agree with that, even though I'm sure he works pretty hard on Ride because it's kind of a one-man show, really, if you think about it. Vanessa Div says, if The Walking Dead declines completely, TREV's channel dies. And, to a degree, that is kind of true because I do so much for The Walking Dead. I do so many videos on The Walking Dead. But just to tell you guys, I don't plan on, stopping TREV's Chan 2 once The Walking Dead is over. Of course, there is the comic book series. The comic book series will most likely continue. And again, I think The Walking Dead will still go on for years and years and years, even though, yes, the ratings are declining. It might not always get over 10, but it doesn't need to. If it gets probably 4 or more, it's probably still worth doing. It's probably still profitable for AMC to do. But even after that, I do have kind of a long-term vision for the channel, what we're going to do here with you guys. Some of you may stick around for all of that. Some of you may not. That's just the nature of what, again, long running, that's the nature of what it is. Because this, in a way, is a show, too. It's over the internet. It's not on, like, a cable channel or something, because it's just me. It's kind of like Norman Reedus, Ride. It's just like me with you guys, what I mean, interacting with you guys and talking about stuff we love. But yeah, right now, of course, Walking Dead Comics is still there, so I'll probably always do that until that eventually ends, which could be in like 10 or 20 years, who knows. But, aside from that, too, I love doing this with you guys, and I appreciate everybody who does contribute to the Patreon. I do appreciate that, even if, the Google, YouTube ads are crap all year, and people are quitting because they're like, this is not worth my time. I'm still producing. I'm still doing what I'm doing for you guys every day, because it's a commitment, and it's not just about money or anything like that. I really do love doing this with you guys. It'd be cool if I could do it full time. I can't, but at the same time, I can do it part time, and I can do the best I can in my 10 or 20 hours a week I have to do this with you guys. I gotta start working. I gotta leave for work in like 15 minutes, but I've got another 15 minutes or a little bit to finish this video and talk with you guys before we do that. So yeah, don't worry about it. And there's other things I'm gonna do, Vanessa Ativa. Like I do Stranger Things videos, I do Game of Thrones videos. So, I'm still going to behaviorally do basically the same thing, right? I'm not going to change my behaviors. I'm going to continue to make the videos that I make and try to find things, because that's half of it. Half of it is like trying to find what videos I'm going to do with you guys and then continue to produce those and do those. If The Walking Dead isn't on, results-wise, yeah, the channel will basically flat out bottom. When The Walking Dead is down, like this year, and YouTube's down also, it's sometimes you question, like, is it worth your time to even do it at all? But, I love doing it. So for me, it's like, that's the thing. I'm not a flashy guy. I drive a car that, is old, old car. The freaking, some of the things on it don't work, like the gas meter is broken. Whatever. I try to get it fixed, but they can't seem to fix it. So it's what it is. So I just, I hear the ding and I know, okay, I gotta get gas. Yeah, that's right. I gotta get gas now. My gas meter's broken. Right. I can't tell how much gas is in the tank. So it's what it is. Living in an old house, whatever. It's cool. It's what it is. And like I said, separate the behaviors and the results. If the results of the channel die, behaviorally, it's still the right thing for me to do to try to make my 10 or more videos. I may not always make 15 videos a week like I did last week with you guys, but if I can do, 5 to 10, and I can do that consistently, year after year after year for at least maybe another 5. I don't know about 10 years, but I'd like to, but we'll have to see how that goes. Either way, I'm just going to keep producing. If people like it, great. And another thing this year too, people say, well, your subscribers haven't grown at all basically this year, Trev. And it's like, doesn't that suck? It's like, well, the show has declined. Like the Walking Dead has gone from 12 to 8.5 in the last year and a half. The channel has not lost, but it's basically stayed. So the amount of people that are unsubscribing is offset by you guys who are coming in and subscribing. So it's like boom, boom, boom. So that's cool. It's fine. I appreciate you guys who do subscribe. Those who unsubscribe, well, it's your prerogative. But it's basically staying stable. So all my hard work and making 500 plus videos a year allows me to stay at the same subscriber amount rather than dying. So people ask like, Trev, why do you have your thing tagged as all at war? Because it is a war to keep producing. It is a war to keep doing this with you guys and to stay in the pocket, to keep producing every week consistently, every day of the year, all year. That's a war. It's very, very hard for me to keep going and keep doing my job, my day job, and then doing this after with you guys. So that's what I plan on continuing to do, and that's what I'm going to do, at least for the foreseeable short-term future. We'll have to see past that, and thank you guys who do support the channel, and not only just through Patreon, but also through, thumbing the videos up, watching the videos, doing this kind of stuff. That's really, keeps the momentum of the channel, keeps the channel alive, keeps it from going into zombie mode, right? Shiva style, right? Just the fight to just survive somehow, right? JSR, right? Just stay relevant, right? That's my thing for the channel this year, JSR. Just stay relevant. That's all you can do. That's about, you work hard all year, make 500 videos. The best you can hope to do is still have a channel. That's it, and not die. That's it. Sometimes that's as hard as you got to, right? Ezekiel can attest to this. You got to bust it just to make it, right? Just to survive sometimes. That's what you got to do. You can't always hope for glory or, increase and this kind of thing and growth. Sometimes you just have to fight just to survive. That's what it is. And that's what The Walking Dead's all about, right? So there it is. Anyway, enough about the channel. The channel's fine anyway. Guys, don't worry. Emerald Horizon says, Trevosaurus. I like that. I've never been called Trevosaurus before. That's funny. This will be the last question. Which one of our main characters do you see perishing first in this war? Keep up the great work, Bromhiador. Okay. That's a fancy way of saying bro. Okay. So who's going to... So I've always said, I think Morgan is the one to go, but, that's totally unfounded. I have nothing to base that on. I just think, it makes sense. So I could be totally wrong with that. We'll see. And, that's one thing about this season is that they've focused on a lot of different characters that we probably didn't see them focusing on. And they've done a lot of things that, you really wouldn't see, beforehand in terms of predictions going in. So... we'll see who it is. Mid-season finale is going to be the big one to watch for. There might be a huge character death there, so we'll see. But I'll stay with my original death predictions, which is I think Morgan will be one of our big, kind of A or B listers to be killed off. Not counting characters like Eric and characters, even Gabriel's probably like a C, maybe a B at this point. So something like that. Anyway, leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and check back tomorrow for the review for Here's Negan. If you guys like the video, please thumb it up below. You can also share. You can favorite. Thanks for all your support, guys. If you're new and you want to subscribe, you can do so at the bottom. You can contribute to the Patreon at the bottom. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.